Hello, future CAs. If you all want to actually become CAs in the future, one thing you have to avoid is selective study approach before your exams. I am going to share with you here 7 honest reasons why you have to avoid this strategy. I'm going to give you actual practical explanation. At the end of the 7th reason, you go and comment if you actually agree with these or not. Let's get going, guys. The first one, now follow. When you plan to do certain things on a day, let's say I want to do 10 things today, sir. I want to study these topics in law, these topics in accounts, these topics in audit. Do you actually achieve that? If you plan 10 topics a day, you will only end up achieving only 5 or 6. That is basic human psychology. So if you are going to aim only for 75% of the syllabus itself, then you will end up learning only 50%. Most of them will end up with 50%. Few exceptional students only will end up with 75%. They can rather go study the whole syllabus itself. Second reason to avoid. Let's take the best of the people in their particular industry, or even if you want to become the greatest or the best, people like Sachin or Dhoni. Do you think they have done a selective technique approach? Do you think Sachin has practiced only a few strokes? If Yorker comes, Sachin will leave it saying, I didn't study this. No, they will learn the entire game. If you want to be the best, if you want to be the greatest, you need to learn everything, guys. There are no shortcuts for success. Third reason, very practical. I am sure you at least you have to agree with me on this one. Especially in new syllabus, MCQ case study, they are mixing multiple concepts in paragraphs, correct? So, combined questions. For example, in law, in one paragraph, they are asking you questions from dividend, meetings and auditors, for example. Sir, I skipped a dividend, sir, because I am following selective study approach. Then how will you answer that question related to dividend linked with meetings and auditors? That means you are not only losing marks for the chapter that you decided to skip, you will also lose marks for the other chapters that you studied because you are not able to interlink the chapters. Point number 4. Let us take theory papers. For example, let's take audit. Sir, I have studied only 70 or 80% of syllabus, sir. But I studied that with 100% effort. You tell me honestly, guys, in a theory paper like audit or law or SM, is there chance for you to get 5 out of 5 in all the questions? No. Only very few students or few questions you can get 5 out of 5. Mostly you end up with how much? 3 or 4 out of 5 marks. That means what will happen over here? Look at this. Out of 100, 25% you are anyway skipping, for example. Then you are studying only for 75 marks. That means you are able to attempt only for 75 marks. In that, if you get only 3/4 of the marks, because you will get only 3 or 4 out of 5, you will end up in the range of only 55. For that also you have to get 3 or 4 in every single question. In the chapters that you have studied also, if just 3 to 4 questions do not go your way, recently audit paper was difficult, then this 55 will again reduce subsequently, or drastically it will reduce, guys, which is a huge risk. We are done with 4 points. Sir, then theory papers, okay sir. What about practical papers? Let's take accounts, our own subject. Amalgamation, consolidation is there, sir. I am going to skip one chapter. Sir, let me skip consolidation. Fine, skip consolidation fully. Amalgamation you studied pakka very well. What are the chances for you to get 14 out of 14, guys? What if in that particular attempt, amalgamation is a twisted question? Or even if it's a simple question, you will not get 14 out of 14. You may only get 10 or you may get 9 out of 14. You're again taking a risk. So what will happen? Basically what will happen, guys? Only very few students can get this 14 out of 14, you are again taking a risk even in practical papers, because again in 75 marks where you are attempting, the chance of you to get full 75 is very, very less. Only very few students can get that. Yes, some of them will study for 75 and get 71. Very few students are there, but the majority of students I am addressing, you are taking a risk. Now coming to the last 2 points. Point number 6. In your school, whichever school you studied, or any teacher in India, have you seen anyone saying do selective study, do only 70 or 80% of syllabus? 99% of the faculties in India always say, ask you to study the whole syllabus. I remember when I was a student, BB sir put a video saying selective preparation is very, very risky. For example, in law, if you skip dividend, 5 marks is gone, because dividend is mandatory for 5 marks. Why do you want to by yourself eliminate some marks? Let ICA do that. Now coming to the last reason, point number 7, we will still keep going. What will happen in selective study? The chance of clearing in the first attempt is very less. I'm not saying you won't clear in the first attempt. Very few people will get there. So what will happen? If you write 4 times, 3 times sad face only for you, and 1 time you will be happy. Of course, 4 times when you write, you know what is going to happen. 3 times goes bad. 1 time you will definitely do well, guys. This is another reason selective study becomes a selective attempt to pass. Are you okay with that risk? Now I'm going to conclude with this. Sir, then are you trying to say I should not follow this selective study approach itself? No. When should you follow this? I have only last 30 to 45 days left for exam. I am starting preparation only now. Or out of 6 subjects, 4 subjects I studied or I targeted to study 100%. Maybe for 2 subjects I will do selective study because I could not study fully. Or group 1 I focused with full preparation. Group 2 I will do selective study. I am okay to take a huge risk, sir. It's okay. If the attempt does not go in my favor, I am okay about it. Then take the huge risk. Are you also ready for articleship embarrassment? What are you saying, sir? In articleship, Big 4 or any mid-sized firm, they will ask you, in AS20, explain how diluted EPS is computed for options. That time you will tell, sir, I also took an option, sir. AS20, I skipped in strategy. I skipped in 75%. So I didn't study. It was an option for me. Gone. Articleship interview, you cannot tell you skipped the topic. At least you can tell I don't know. Then he will ask you some other question in AS20. That also you will not know. So you are basically 25 to 30% of syllabus itself you are omitting. How big of a risk is that? You tell me. And lastly, you tell me, guys, when you get to a mindset of not studying anything fully, tomorrow in articleship also, when you are doing ITR work, you will do only 70 or 80% of the work. Will you be okay if the company tells you, I will pay you only 75% syllabus, or I will pay you, if I will pay you only 75% salary because you studied only 75% syllabus, will you accept, guys? No, right? You need the full salary, except TDS, which will be reduced, which you can later claim it. So these things are very, very risky, guys. Remember, everybody tells one thing. There are no shortcuts for success. Shortcut for success is not there. Sir, then you are giving expected question. No, sir. I know this question will come. Expected question video, first I always tell, don't study only this, but ensure you don't skip these. Always we've been right in the expected questions, and that is why I released expected questions only last 30 days before exams, so that students don't study only this. That is why I give it in last 30 days before exams, guys. So this is what I wanted to share. Of course, there will be contradictory thoughts. That's okay. This is my opinion and I wanted to share it openly with all students who are following our approach. Thank you so much. Keep learning.